Welcome. Today we'll be reviewing the Louis Latour Valmoissine Les Terrasses Pinot Noir from France. My name is David Hunter. I'm the Director of Content and Education with Two-Ton Selection. We'll start out by looking at the bottle. Very traditional Burgundy-shaped bottle, classic for Pinot Noir. At the top here, they have the Louis Latour name along with their crest, and then the vintage underneath that. The label, the top is Valmoissine, which is the vineyard and the area that this wine was produced. Then it says Pinot Noir, it's 100% Pinot Noir. And then Les Terrasses. Les Terrasses is a special selection of their vineyards from their higher elevation sites. And then it states Louis Latour. Looking at the back of the label is extremely descriptive, especially for European wines. So it has detailed information about the Louis Latour family, about this wine, and then tasting notes. It also has a great QR code. So you scan this with your phone and it shows you all the detailed technical notes, tasting notes, and detailed information about this specific wine. You could toggle to different vintages at the top as well. Louis Latour is one of the top websites in the wine world. So they have extremely detailed information, lots of maps, lots of videos. So if you go to that website, you could find a lot of information about Louis Latour, but also this wine specifically. Let's talk about the producer and the Louis Latour family. Louis Latour has been a family-owned producer in Burgundy since 1797, so that's 12 generations. It makes them one of the oldest producers within Burgundy. They're very highly regarded as one of the top world-class producers of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. They're also a pioneer in sustainable viticulture. So they've been practicing sustainable practices since the 1990s, which makes them one of the first to do so. Let's look at a map here. You can see where the estate is located here in the southeast of France. I put a red arrow there identifying it. And here's a coastal picture just off of the vineyards. So the vineyards are a bit further up into the hills here, but it gets you a good idea of this region and this area. You see the rocky hillsides, the mountains in the background. Let's talk about the region. The specific region here is the Var region, so V-A-R. It's technically within Provence, which is well known for rosé, of course, but they also produce really top quality red wines, especially in the higher elevations, which is where the vineyards here are located. It's also very close to Marseille, which is very popular for summertime travels and beaches, but this region is also really highly regarded for the production of really top quality wines. Louis Latour has been cultivating Pinot Noir at this domain since 1989. So again, one of the first producers within this region. Well before rosé was popular, Louis Latour came down here and started cultivating Pinot Noir grapes specifically. This estate has 250 acres of Pinot Noir, and it's planted on clay and limestone soils. So it's very similar to Burgundy. And that's really why one of the reasons why they chose this area specifically for Pinot Noir. It's the exact same terroir, exact same climate, a little warmer than Burgundy, but the exact same soil type and composition as Burgundy. Let's speak a bit about the vineyards. The average age of the vines for this particular bottling is 15 years of age, which is great. They have a bit of age to them, gives them more complexity and layers of flavor. The vineyard management and winemaking are all identical to the teams and the styles that they use in Burgundy. So they're using the same techniques that they've used for the last several hundred years to make this wine that they've used in Burgundy. So it really comes through, in my opinion. This wine is almost a dead ringer for a top quality Burgundy. Valmoissine is located on the site of an ancient monastery. So it was known as Valmoissine back, I think it was into the 1700s. So it has a lot of history here. It used to be a monastery and an old college, and it's really a medieval village and town here. It's a beautiful area. But the vineyards sit at about 1,650 feet above sea level. So that elevation cools things off, and is a perfect climate. This climate really guarantees that you have the sunshine and the warmth of southern France, but that it also remains cool at night because of the higher elevations. So this does several different things, but one of them is it limits the risk of spring frosts, which are always an issue in Burgundy and northern France. Here it's warm enough, it's not as much of an issue, the wines are more consistent. Let's look at a few pictures here. This is a picture of the village, and then on the bottom right there you can see the estate itself and some of the beginnings of the vineyards. So it's a very old site but beautiful area. Let's speak about a few more details of the vineyards. So we have southern exposure here, which gives you all day facing to the sun. So morning to sunset, you have great exposure to the sun, which gives you perfect maturity. Les Terrasses specifically for this bottling is a selection of the higher elevation vineyards, as I mentioned earlier. The yields here are extremely low, so they're specifically limiting how many bunches of grapes per vine. So if you let the grapevine grow wild, it might grow 100 bunches of grapes. But here they're trimming them back at spring and allowing only perhaps 40 or 50 or sometimes even less bunches grow and mature. So it gives more concentration to the wine. That also gives you a lot of aromatics as well, which is one of the hallmarks of Burgundy, but also of these wines in the south of France. The result is really an elegant wine, great finesse, good complexity. We're going to taste it here in a moment. Let's look at a few more pictures of the vineyards specifically. So the first one here is a zoom out of the vineyards. And the second one here, a bit closer in, you could see that red clay soil, which is classic for top quality Pinot Noirs. Let's cover some of the vinification. So this is 100% Pinot Noir. It's fermented in very traditional open top fermenting vats, all stainless steel. It's then aged for 10 to 12 months in stainless steel vats, and it just rounds out the wine and helps it relax a bit before it's bottled. We could mention a few of the vintages. Currently you'll have in stock, many people, the 2020 vintage. The 2021 vintage is the current release and what's shipping now. The good news is both vintages were top quality. Both excellent vintages, warm summers, dry summers, cool nights, top quality. So they're very comparable in style. Let's go ahead and taste it. Very traditional dark burgundy, a little bit of garnet on the color there. Really powerful nose, so lots of aromatics, lots of red fruits, a bit of black fruit in there, blackberry, even a bit of black currant. Mouthfeel is round, nice concentration, nice velvety texture to it, a bit of tannins in the back, but very well balanced. You get more of a bit of a rhubarb, strawberry, but also those sort of black fruits, a bit of an earthiness to it in a nice way. So you have a bit of that they call forest flora. So nice complexity there. Again, similar to style in Burgundy. And really finishes nicely. I can still taste this 30, 40 seconds after swallowing it. So nice complexity, really balanced finish. Let's cover some of the food pairings. This is a really flexible wine. So it's not very delicate, but it's also not overpowering. It's a good balance. So it would be great with charcuterie, any sort of appetizers or hors d'oeuvres. Particularly pâté would be fantastic. Seared duck breast would be great. I've had this wine with a dish that was like a roasted chicken with a creamy mustard sauce, was excellent. Sesame crusted tuna, a seared tuna, is a great pairing. For cheeses, mild cheeses are best. It has some power, so it'll stand up to a mild cheese. You don't want anything too strong, too overpowering, or too aged, so you don't want anything too mature. But it's great with goat cheese, creamy brie, really a pretty wide range of cheeses. It's also great with a lot of vegetable dishes, particularly something a bit creamy like a mushroom risotto would be great. One other thing to note is that even though this is a very well priced from the south of, really well priced wine from the south of France, you can definitely age this and it will develop. So it'll keep and develop and evolve really good for about 3 to 5 years. So it's great now and really approachable today, but it will evolve and develop. Let's cover some of the final talking points. Louis Latour is a top-level producer from Burgundy, making wine here in the south of France. And this is from their estate, which they started in 1989, specifically for this purpose of producing Pinot Noirs in the south of France. They use the same team and techniques as they do in Burgundy, so the same qualities. Amazing with a wide variety of food dishes, very flexible. Has the ability to age and develop, and is extraordinary for this price. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you take a bottle home with you, cook up something nice. For now, cheers, thank you for joining us. I'll leave my contact details here. Feel free to reach out for me if you have any additional questions about this wine or any other wines from Teuton Selection. Thank you.